That is a lot better now. Good evening. There we go. You guys sound a little warmer now. All right. So it is truly a pleasure and an honor to be here sharing, first of all, in the 50th anniversary for you guys, but also to be sharing in what is going to be an amazing learning curve for every single one of you that is sitting right here in this room. For each of you, you have an opportunity that's going to present a million opportunities. My only question for you, though, is will you take full advantage of these million opportunities that are going to come your way, or will you let the million opportunities pass you by? So this evening, I promise that I'm not going to be long, and I pray to God that I will not be boring. So I have been challenged with talking to you guys about two things. First of all, doing well at school. Secondly, building or having good school spirit. And I'll be honest, when I began to think about it, or rather when Kobe sent me the message, my mind went into a warp. And from there, I actually struggled to come to grips with what I could possibly tell you guys today on this platform. I struggled not because I couldn't find the words, but I struggled because I had to admit to myself that doing well at school and having good school spirit are things that come from within inside of you. So there's nothing that I could possibly stand on this platform here today and tell you that's going to make you want to get good grades. There's nothing I can ask you to do in this room that's going to have or cause you to have good school spirit. Because at the end of the day, it is something that is internal. It must come from inside of you. And the only way that is going to come from inside of you and manifest itself outside of you is if you find value in whatever it is that you are doing. So the only way that you're going to want to do well at school is if you find value in the schoolwork that you have to do, in terms of the opportunities that it presents for you after the Barbados Community College. The only way that you're going to participate in the activities of the Barbados Community College, the only way that you're going to build and have good school spirit is if you find value in the activities that you're going to participate in at the Barbados Community College. And it's for that reason that this evening, I'm going to take a slightly different approach to what I probably would have started out with initially. In several of my conversations and several of my presentations, I talk about the idea of branding, personal branding. First of all, knowing your brand. So knowing your brand is your identity. It is who you are as a person. It's your foundation. It's the idea, or coming to grips with the idea that you are one of one and not one of many. You are born as an individual, and inside of each and every single one of you, there is greatness. But the only way that greatness is going to come out is if you yourself will it out of you. So, know your brand. That's your foundation. I also talk then about investing in your brand. Investing in your brand is the hard work, the blood, the sweat, the energy that you put behind building who you are as a person. So today, talking about doing well at school, talking about being involved in the activities of the Barbados Community College, that would fall under the category of investing in your brand, in who you are as a person. But remember, I started out by saying that you are not going to want to participate, you are not going to want to do your schoolwork to get those grades unless you find value in whatever it is that you're doing. So before you get to the investment stage, there's something called knowing why your brand exists. Knowing why your brand exists. Your brand is knowing why is your passion, it's your purpose, it's your vision. That's what then gives you the direction. So it's all fine and dandy to know who you are. It's all fine and dandy to love who you are and have an appreciation for yourself. Unless you give yourself a vision, you will go nowhere in life. Unless you give yourself a passion or find yourself a passion, it's very easy to find yourself sitting down for 5, 10, 15 years and letting life pass you by, and the only thing that you contribute to this world is carbon dioxide. It is very, very, very easy if you do not have a passion. And let me give you an example, because life is real. So I was having a discussion with my mom the other day, and we were talking about this individual. And trust me, I grew up with this individual, and from primary school, scholar. Secondary school, scholar. Cape, scholar. But then life happened. And instead of being able to head on to the University of West Indies, this individual had to then go and pursue an opportunity which was not, let's say, fruitful or one that you would expect them to be involved in. Now, I could understand that. But the only thing I could not understand is, or rather the one thing I had to mention was I could not understand why 6 years later, the individual found themselves still in the same position. And the only thing that I could come to grips with is that there was no passion, there was no purpose, and there was no vision after that incident that would have derailed life. You see, passion is the one thing that stirs up inside of you. So remember I said I struggled to figure out what I could possibly say. And there are several times that I also struggle in terms of I have big dreams, I have big hopes. So I want to talk in rooms where I cannot see the back of the audience. I want to deal with television shows whereby the production crew is millions of dollars. But I have to admit that I have not reached that stage of my life as yet. So there are times when I find myself staring at my ceiling for 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, just feeling like life is passing me by and I'm getting nowhere. But at the moment that the 5th hour strikes, the 6th hour strikes, the 7th hour strikes, somewhere between there, the passion for what I have for my life, the purpose that I have for my life tells me get up. Because it tells me that I have to do something more than what I'm doing currently to get where I want to go. And that's what passion tells you, that's what purpose tells you, that's what vision tells you. So the only way you're going to achieve something in terms of schoolwork, the only way you're going to go after your goals is if you first find a passion for what you're doing, what you're doing. There's this gentleman that I watch very often. His name is Simon Sinek. And he talks a lot about why. So he says that many people know what they want to do in life. So for example, it could be that I want to be a speaker. It could be that you want to be in information technology. You want to be a nurse, a doctor, whatever. That is what. Many people know how to achieve it. So you go to the Barbados Community College, you study, you go to classes, whatever. That is how. Very few people in life know why they do what they do. And those people that find their why, those people that find their passion, those people that find their purpose are the ones that you would find at the top of society. Not because they are special, not because something has been handed to them on a platter, but because they have a fire inside of them that causes them to act when life gets hard. That is exactly it. So like I said, I cannot come here and tell you guys do good schoolwork, get good grades. Because that is something that's going to go into your ears when you walk through that door. That is it for you. My purpose or why I exist is something I found when I was 22 years old. And it got to me and I said, why am I here on this earth? And for me, I came to grips with the understanding that I am here to challenge minds. I am here to tell you that there's something more that exists currently. So there is more than what you have for yourself right now. So for each and every single person in this room, there is more that exists for you. And the only way that you will get it, the only way that in terms of the grades, in terms of the success, everything else, the only way that you will get it is if you first find a passion for whatever it is that you want to do. Like I said, I like to be real. So my mother once told me, like several years ago, this is when I was never listening to my mother. This is when I was being rebellious. By the way, I hate school. Like, I hate schoolwork. I love school in terms of liming, talking, like that. That's why, see, there's some people that love that too. I see you guys nodding. I love that aspect. I went to school to hang out. Very honest. Went to school, played table tennis all day at Queen's College in sixth form. All day. I love school. Hate schoolwork. My mother sent me an email. And in that email, it read, these are the only words in the email, by the way, randomly, several years ago. And it only hit me that the role that a parent plays is extremely important by laying the foundation years before when your children are not listening to you. So the email read, failure is not an option. Being average is not acceptable. Excellence is what I expect of you. Exceptional is who you are. That's it. There was no kind regards, mom, nothing. No hi, Joel, nothing. The only thing was the body of text which read, failure is not an option. Being average is not acceptable. Excellence is what I expect of you. Exceptional is who you are. That is what I believe passion tells you. If passion could talk, if vision could talk, if purpose could talk, it would tell you, failure is not an option. Being average is not acceptable. Excellence is what I expect of you. Exceptional is who you are. Now, let me take a break from the students. Parents, understand I mentioned that something that my mother told me when I was not listening. I'll be honest, I opened the email and I just probably closed it. And it was only like, let's say, probably beginning of this year or late last year that I was going through clearing my email and I saw this. And then I documented and I told myself, whoa. Parents, you need to understand the role that you play in your children's life because life is not easy. Life is not easy, but at the same time, it is not impossible. Life for a young person is not easy, but at the same time, it's not impossible. So you need to set the foundation to ensure that the impossible becomes possible for your children. Understand the role that you play in shaping their mindset, even when they are not listening to you, because trust me, I was not listening then. But understand several years later the impact that that quote now has on my life and the ability for me to share it with many others. So parents, do not disregard the fact that your children might be hard-headed or the fact that they may not want to listen in a particular point in time. Value the role that you play in their life and setting the foundation for them to go there and face the challenges of this world. Because it does not make sense for a child to face challenges in the world and face challenges at home as well. It makes absolutely no sense. I can understand that a child might be own way and what's not, but understand that your job is to train up that child in the way that he or she should go. So whether or not they choose to be disrespectful, whether or not they choose to not do their schoolwork, your responsibility is to lay the foundation and pray that one day they take hold or stand on the foundation that you have built for your child. Good. So back on to the students. So remember I said, I cannot force you to get good grades. I can't force you to have good school spirit. So the only way that you're going to want to do this schoolwork is when you find a passion for whatever it is that you have to do. So don't think about it in terms of, I want to be a doctor. Think about why it is that you want to be a doctor. So how do you plan to impact the world as a doctor? How do you plan to impact the world as a journalist? How do you plan to impact the world as a singer? Think about that. That is purpose, not just the role. There are several singers out there, but understand the exceptional ones are the ones who have a passion and the ones who find a purpose for their voice, who find a purpose for their hands, who find a purpose for whatever it is that they're doing, because that is the only thing that's going to set you apart. So if you want to know how to get good grades, find a reason to get the good grades, other than, I just want to pass. All right? Good. That's one. Two, in terms of building school spirit, remember I said the only way you're going to participate is if you find value in whatever it is that you're doing. Back to real life. When I went to UE, this was when I was doing undergrad because I'm doing master's now. When I went to do undergrad, by the way, remember I said I hate school. So I magically ended up doing a master's by accident. So I am being very serious. So when I first went to do my undergraduate, I was one that would go to school and I would go back home. I would only go online with the friends that came from me from Queen's College or anybody who I would have known from just playing cricket, whatever it is, ever else it was that I was doing at the time. But then second year came, second semester, when I was pretty much flunking out of school and leaving exams. That period of my life came. But in that period of my life, I started to become involved in the activities of the campus. So I started going to culture days, food days. I started participating in debates, whatever else that the campus had, I started to participate. And then I began to realize that my life as a whole started to evolve. Because it's one thing to do schoolwork and be a bookworm and have grades, but it's another thing to be a well-rounded individual. Now, participating in campus activities is what is going to cause you to be a well-rounded individual. Because by going to the culture days, when I started to actually travel the Caribbean, I was able to link up with friends that I had. They could show me around. They were able to present opportunities for me to speak overseas as a result of the interactions that I had on campus. Had I never chosen to interact, had I never chosen to go to culture days because it's not my culture, I don't have anything to learn other than being a Barbadian. Had I chosen to take that mindset or that approach to life, I might not be here today. That is being very honest. I might not be in front of you here today. So understand that there's value beyond simply going to school for schoolwork. Sure, BCC might not have the diversity in terms of people from other Caribbean countries, but understand that you never know the input that somebody can have in your life that you meet today. Never underestimate 5 years down the road, because you're not living your life for today. You are already here at today. So what you're doing is not for today. What you're doing is for tomorrow. 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road, that is your investment. So understand that the conversations, the relationships, the activities that you get involved in, they are not for today. They are for tomorrow. Therefore, when you hit the working world, therefore, when you begin to tell yourself that it is time to get a job, it's time to settle down. So understand that there is value beyond simply going to school and getting an education, because there's something called a well-rounded student. Me, I'm a well-rounded individual because, like I said, I don't really like school. But because of being involved, I became well-rounded, and I'm now able to speak a lot clearer. I'm able to probably, let's say, impact a little better because of the fact that the experiences that I have from several different cultures, the experiences that I have from several different activities make up who I am as an individual. So I do not only speak from a bookworm perspective, I speak from a having been around several different individuals and several different places perspective. So I said I'm not going to be long, and I pray to God I wasn't going to be boring. So I hope that you have taken in what I've said here today with the understanding that There's nothing that I can tell you that's going to make you want to get good grades. Understand that. It is up to you. Your success, how far you go in life, is not determined by anybody else. It's not determined by where you live. It's not determined by your circumstances. It's determined by what you want for yourself. Trust me when I say that greater things have been done. So whatever you want to do can be achieved. To each and every single one of you, I want to say go out there and have a fantastic time at school. Like I said, enjoy, but be the greatest version of yourself that you can be and find your way. Thank you.